Good evening, here is our news bulletin for tonight. An apparent shortage of fish supply raises an alarm for local fisheries and business industry in Niue. Arrow International have been given the contract for the scenic Matawai expansion. The development of a new orchard at Waipapahi opens up an opportunity for a facelift for the farm. Makefu showcased their community spirit with their village show day activities last Saturday. White Sunday and Mother's Day programs around the island kept youngsters from the different Ekalesi Niue congregations busy. The local fisheries industry and business sector has raised concerns regarding an apparent shortage of fish. The marine fisheries in Niue have two distinct components, offshore and coastal fisheries. The offshore fisheries has been undertaken on an industrial scale in the past, with most of the coastal fisheries primarily carried out for subsistence purposes with some local sales. Restaurants and eateries have had to remove fish dishes from their menus because there has been no fish for sale. Even some of the commercial fishermen have reported low catch numbers. We spoke to the head of the Fisheries Division, James Tafatu, to find out what some of the contributing factors may be regarding this latest predicament.
We are experiencing a couple of phenomena. We just came out from El Nino phenomenon. It influences the migratory patterns of fish. And El Nino should be a good year for us. But last year it wasn't really so. So a lot of things doesn't really add up in scientific sense, and also for us to try and prove it. At a local setting, we are noticing with the offshore fishing, the bigger boats, they're catching mainly albacore. And albacore is a deep fish. And they don't really come into inshore until late June and also around about August, September. And that's when you see some of the canoes, if they put down their lines deeper, and then they might catch these albacore. But when that happens, you'll see the fishing season will be picking up. And also, maybe I can be safe to say this, a lot of people are not really going out fishing. They cannot really afford to go out fishing. It is an expensive exercise. And when you go out and if there's no fish there, more likely you won't go the next day. I'm referring to the boat fishermen, and they are the ones that really go out there and catch fish, especially to supply the restaurants and all eatery places. And they have also the capacity to take in the fish and store the fish when they catch them. So if you're going out now, and the petrol is expensive, and if there's no fish out there, well, of course you wouldn't go back there and there again in trying to catch some fish where there's nothing.
The division is also responsible for maintaining fish aggregating devices that are used to attract fish. However, following the recent cyclones and rough seas, a number of those devices were lost. Mr. Tafatu says they're also noticing not many fish come right into shore where people can access them. The issue is also becoming a regional concern, as was raised in a meeting of the Foreign Fisheries Agency 2 weeks ago.
Niue, Cook Islands, Samoa, Tonga are regional neighbors. We were all in that meeting. We were all asking SPC, because not only us seeing the numbers are really gone down, but also they are experiencing the same thing. So we cannot really pinpoint or put our hands to our hearts and say, okay, this is really what is happening out there. So it can be a lot of things happening out there. It can be too many people out there fishing, the bigger boats. But we are monitoring those boats that are coming into our EEZ. And we don't notice any other boats except for the ones that are licensed to fish. And that is only a few that are licensed to fish in our area. We have a couple of fads that are already ready to go. And we're hoping, well, before this, a couple of weeks ago, we wanted to put it in, but because of foul weather, we couldn't put in these feds. Otherwise, they are there as soon as this boat goes, and hopefully we'll put in those far feds to try and attract the fish in, and also appendages, so that we can put in those feds that are still there. So hopefully that will encourage the fish to come in.
While the Fisheries Division are working on some short-term solutions, they're hoping that fish numbers will increase as more feds are put in place. In the meantime, Scenic Matavai continues to have fish on their menu, although it proves expensive having to air freight fish from overseas. The Scenic Matavai Resort Niue is now to expand with the development of a conference centre in a program aimed to enable Niue to maximise the benefits of the local tourist industry. The Scenic Hotel Group of New Zealand, who holds the management contract for Scenic Matavai Niue, the only full-service hotel on the island, aim to deliver maximum service once the project is completed in 2017. It's a development that the Niue Tourism Chief Executive Officer Felicity Boland-Thissell welcomed as an asset to a place where now there is a demand for something big to accommodate the growing interest of hosting weddings, conferences, amongst other things for Niue. It's also an opportunity to create a job market for Niue. The development undertaken by the leading New Zealand construction and management companies with Arrow Construction, who have been carrying out some major construction works in Niue, will roll out in phases, which will enable the resort to accommodate the existing bookings without compromising visitor enjoyment. It will not only provide excitement to the Scenic Hotel Group of New Zealand, but also for the people of Niue. The expansion of the tourism industry will showcase local craftsmen and women, as well as opening various opportunities to enhance and continue to develop Niue as an attractive tourist destination to par with other tourist industries in the region. The Waipapahi Experimental Farm is undergoing a major overhaul to uplift the farm's image and potential development of ongoing projects. The farm was established during the times of the New Zealand administration for tests and experiments of different crops, trees and livestock. In recent years, the farm has been managed by the Department of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries and used for a variety of projects such as vanilla, poultry farming, ornamental plant propagation and others. Clearing of the new orchard area started in early March following the inception workshop launch of the FAO Technical Cooperation project on fruit and nut trees. Director Brendan Pasisi says that the Fruit Trees project offers an opportunity to relook at the layout and develop a new orchard design.
We finally launched that project, and at the same time our minister and ourselves have wanted to have a facelift up here at the farm. It's been questioned whether or not the farm is a viable operation. So yeah, we looked at a few sites to set up what's going to be a demonstration orchard, and also will become the sort of the broodstock for cuttings and creating seedlings and stuff to spread more wider around the island and the community, for both at the household level but also potentially for small income earning people that are interested. So that's what we're trying to do, and it just made sense. We had looked at one of the older sites on the other side of the farm, and then as we were walking back, we sort of looked here at the old infrastructure and sort of said, actually, let's lift all that off and put the orchard here. And so, as you can see now, it's been cleared away, and so there'll be a facelift behind us. There will hopefully be the demonstration orchard, which we're clearing at the moment, and planting and fencing off will start probably in early July. It's time to remove some of the old sheds and stuff that are falling down. We did have a big project to refurbish those, but unfortunately the donors didn't come through on that some years ago. So yeah, this seems now like a good opportunity. And the existing mango trees and avocados and stuff like that, we're going to stretch the project out to actually also work on those and get those fruiting as well. So yeah, it's really good. It's exciting times.
The Waipapahi farm has been used as a demonstration site for agriculture and forestry projects, but in recent years the area has started to look somewhat run down. But this latest development has two main objectives.
Two big objectives. One is to get the fruit tree and the nut trees on the island and fruiting hopefully within the next 2 years, and at the same time create a bit of a facelift for the farm here, and also give the workers, the staff up here, a bit of a boost, so they have something to really focus on now. And yeah, already we're seeing some enjoyment on their part and actually working towards something that is different. And we're going to be introducing some new tropical fruits here, so hopefully we'll have some nice varieties of mangoes in the next 2 years, some lychees perhaps, or rambutan, dragon fruit, things like that. Yeah, so it's aimed to primarily improve food security and nutritional security, but it will also help in the planning process for the growing tourism demand over the next few years at least.
The department believes that the fruit and nut tree project will add value to food and nutritional security and will give the Waipapahi Research Station a much-needed facelift that has been long overdue. One of the most popular events on the calendar for the year for Niue kicked off last Saturday. Makefu Show Day was the beginning for the island of what has become an iconic event that goes back for decades in Niue. The Makefu Show Day attracted one of the best crowds ever for the village over the last few years in its 21-year history. A 21-year history that has seen some personnel and development changes to the community, in which the village assemblyman, Tofua Puletama, attributed to the community's willingness to work collectively to achieve what is the best outcome for the village. The barbershop and the dancing competition, sponsored by Telecom Niue, with the winner walking away with a brand new mobile phone, were such new developments, and the Unga race still proved a popular event for all ages. While some of the things such as selling of cooked food and raw food, handcrafts and other local products still hold their popularity on the day, Makefu's innovative developments such as the inclusion of a barbershop, another innovative idea, a dancing competition sponsored by Telecom Niue, attracted a diverse population in ages and sizes, with the winner decided by the cheering of the crowd. Makefu's development as a community to host a day like it had last Saturday, since the first one 21 years ago, is a sign of better things yet to come for other village communities in Niue when it's their turn to host a show day this year. The annual show day is now part of the most anticipated events in Niue for the villagers, and Makefu kicked it off in style. Last Sunday, most of the Ekalesia Kirisiano Niue congregations around the island celebrated their annual White Sunday event that coincides with Mother's Day. Sunday school children and youth dressed up in their formal white attire and made their way to church to wait in anticipation to say their sermons in front of the whole congregation. Some congregations had a specific program for Mother's Day on White Sunday, but others have something special planned just for the mothers that they have deferred to the following week. The Sunday school children also performed short skits of stories from within the Bible that has been taught throughout Sunday school throughout the week, as well as some hymns and action songs. The main challenge now is the dwindling number of children participating in White Sunday. For some families that live in different villages, they travelled all the way to present their sermons. A Mother's Day gift can easily be just seeing their children perform and present their sermons clearly, singing their songs confidently and loudly in front of the whole congregation. That concludes our news bulletin for this evening. We do hope you can join us again for our next news bulletin on Thursday.